Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a treat for you. We're going to be going over a power of attorney, but it's not going to be for Florida. It's going to be for India. Listen, I've been really working hard to try to get my hands on documents that are hard to come by so that you can go ahead and see them. So when you get your appointment, you'll be ready. Okay? Let's get into it. To be discussing a power of attorney. But this time it's not going to be from Florida. This is a power of attorney for India. Now, I have been called to do a lot of different power of attorney and wills and other documentation for different countries. And what I will say is they're all different. So basically, you just kind of got to get familiar with whatever you can get your hands on to go over. And then remember some of the key things when you do your document, okay? So this one is a power of attorney, and this is for a young lady that's in school, and she needed to give her power to her father. So ultimately, she let me go ahead and make a copy of it, and I told her I would X out all the important information, so none of her information would be made public, and I just put in just some fake names or whatever just for demonstration purposes. So these things would already be done. So all of the person's name, address, everything that's required from India, that would be on this document already. And here, they would write this part in. So ultimately, it would be like the person that's in front of you, who is the son, daughter, wife of this is the person who's getting the power. And basically saying that he's the guarantor for her education loan. So basically, this has something to do with schooling. So once that is filled out, which you will not fill this out, that person will fill this out. Okay? And I just want to make sure you notice that on each end, there is a signature. So the person who has shown you their identification to prove who they are, whether it's a passport, immigration ID, a driver's license, identification, whatever it is, you're going to make sure that their name matches here. And on each one of these documents, India wants you to sign it. So on each page, your signature and their signature. Now, if they ask you to stamp each page, which that has happened before, you can't stamp every page because you need to be able to put your notarial stamp where your acknowledgement or jurat stamp is. You can't just be stamping randomly. I'm sure they would want that because I've been asked to do that before, and I had to explain to them that that's not how our laws go here. But signing is sufficient, okay? So you're going to sign, and the person who's showing their ID, they're going to sign. And then you'll come here. This is the day that this document is being completed. So they would want the day here and then whatever the time is. So this part here was not there. I put my stamp here. This is my acknowledgement stamp. So this is me putting when I say our, I mean Florida's notarial language on this document so that I can stamp it. So you would fill your acknowledgement or your jurat stamp out. So it would be Florida, Hillsborough, and you would have your date. Remember 2023, we in a new year. And then you'll sign your name. And then you'll go ahead and put the day your commission expires. And remember, that is always on the back of your stamp if you forget it. And then here, 2 small passport pictures are going to be glued to this page. So they will put the 2. So one of the pictures is going to be the other person that is getting the person that's going to be getting the power. And then the person that's going to be in front of you, their picture is here. So they're the donor, donee, and the guarantor, that's the dad. So his picture will go here. And how India wants it is the person who showed you their ID, they're going to sign their name there and there. So they're going to sign half on the paper and half on the picture just to show that it's an original, okay? And then here is where you would actually put your notarial stamp here. So they're very particular in how it's done. So for this document, the acknowledgement stamp would go here, the 2 pictures, and under the pictures would go the stamp, your regular notary stamp, okay? And then you'll come down here, and then where it says me, you know who me is, that's you, the notary. So you would write your name there. And once again, your signature and that person's signature is there. And as you notice so far, only your signature and that person's signature is needed on this document. You're not notarizing another person's signature. It's just only that person. Okay? And this will be the last page here. And ultimately, the donee, that's her. That person that's in front of you that has shown you their identification, they would sign their name here. And then you would come down here and notice that, once again, signatures on both ends of the page. And you can see here it says, paste passport size photos of attorney, which will be attested by the other person. So just remember, the photos need to be there. They need to sign on top of the photo, off the photo. You need to sign every page of this packet. So if they have more pages, you need to sign the bottom of each one of them, because ultimately you don't want to have to redo this again. So I'm telling you, that's what they're asking for. And so pretty much that's it. This is one type of power of attorney. I have done other power of attorneys that look completely different. But ultimately, all of this information is already typed out. So not many of them have a spot where you're actually going to actually see the whole write it in type of thing. Normally, everything is pretty much printed out, but I have all of the printed out names and addresses and everything. I've taken all of that off of here, so you're not going to see that part. But everything that they need for this to be valid is already here. And so ultimately, that will be it. So it's not hard at all, but you just have to know like the little rules and regulations that they expect from us. So we know, even though they might think that they need a stamp on every page, that is not what we can do. Unless your page has somewhere where you can put that acknowledgement stamp and your stamp, and that person can sign, because you're notarizing their signature. You're not notarizing any kind of information on here, because you don't know really if that stuff is true and correct. You're notarizing this signature. So wherever your stamp is, your notarial stamp, that acknowledgement stamp, it needs to be with that. If you can't get both of them on there, then you can't stamp it. Okay? Alrighty. Well, I want to thank you so very much for coming by my channel. And thankfully, I finally hit 1,000 subscribers. So I am so thankful for you guys. So thankful. And I want to continue to show you all these documents that you're going to run across that you will need to see first, because a lot of these things you wouldn't know unless somebody told you. Unfortunately, there's no rule book to this thing. So as much as I know, I will share it with you, okay? Alrighty, well, thank you so very much. And you guys have a great year. It's going to be whatever you make it, okay?